Oh, it's been a little bit, hasn't it? Well, hopefully my channel hasn't died yet. Hello everyone, my name is Austin. Welcome back to the only series on my channel, the Reddit series, because I'm a Reddit YouTuber. Today we're going to be looking at some r/MaliciousCompliance because I've never done it on this channel before, and it's a good subreddit, so go figure what it is. I think I'm going to do r/BoneAppleTea for the next one, because I think it's a beautiful subreddit to do, and I figured you guys would enjoy it, so look out for that video coming out soon. Anyways, let's get on to the episode. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I hit 30 subscribers while I was gone, so thanks for not unsubbing, and hopefully you don't do it now, because that would make even less sense, so, I don't know, subscribe? Lack of common sense costs the customer some sense. Ooh, I like the name. So, my husband, whom we shall call Craig, works as a supervisor for a parking company in an airport. He told me this tale, which I hope it fits here. As well as storing cars securely while customers fly out to other places, Craig's work also offers a wash service and a valet service. Additionally, they service 4 different terminals and 3 different car parks, including an undercover car park for the customers' vehicles. So it goes without saying that customers' cars are sometimes moved, i.e. from a car park into the wash bay, between terminals depending on where the customer is leaving or returning to, or to drop a customer off at the terminal or to pick them up. This means that a small amount of fuel is used up in the process. Most customers understand this, but not Susan. No, Susan, not her real name obviously, made a complaint that after picking up her car, she discovered that 5 kilometers of her car's estimated range had been used. Estimated range tells you the approximate distance the car can travel on the current level of fuel, and it isn't always 100% accurate. Even if it was, 5 kilometers isn't unreasonable when considering Susan's drop-off, travel between terminals to park the car, to travel to their wash area, and to travel to her pickup. But Susan wants to be compensated for the 5 kilometers of fuel that they stole from her. After coming up with an idea, Craig talks to the owner. Craig says that they should calculate how many kilometers is in a full tank on Susan's make of the car, then calculate exactly how many liters of fuel 5 kilometers would be at current fuel prices. They do so and find out that it comes to the cost of maybe like 0.3 or 0.4 cents. So Craig's boss calls Susan and tells her that they're very sorry and will refund the cost of the fuel used directly to her credit card. Susan is smug as a pug until she finds out that the amount is 30 odd cents. So not 0.3 cents. Okay. She's even less pleased with the fee of $2 for the transaction from using her credit card. Don't ask me why, but Craig's company card machines charge for credit transactions under a certain amount. Anyway, Susan's complaint ended up costing her $1.70, and the best thing, she couldn't argue because Craig and his boss did exactly what she asked. So I always try to choose, you know, a good story to introduce what r/whatever subreddit we're reading is. And this one's a perfect one. It's where you find a loophole or not a loophole actually, it's more just like being smart about what someone requests and making them mad at the same time. Also, 5 kilometers is not a lot. I think everyone knows this. And some cars I've seen reach like 25-30 kilometers per gallon, which is plenty, I think. So take 1/6 of however much a gallon of gas costs, and you don't get much. That's about right. So I really don't know. Want any beer? Sure. So this will be a short story without an absolute ending, but thought it would be worth sharing. I work in a pub which has about 30 taps of beer. Sometimes people come in just asking for a beer. I always ask if there's anything in particular they are looking for so they can get something they would enjoy. I usually have a default beer if they are tourists or just want a standard beer. However, the place I work at used to have a very sour red ale. White Rabbit Red Ale, and we were told that if anyone ordered it, we would have to ask if they had had it before and give them a taste of it. Most of the customers that asked for just a beer would get the standard beer, but there was always a few customers yelling, "I just want a beer, is that so hard?" Sure. Someone asked about the customer's reaction, and I thought I'd put it here. Needless to say, no one enjoyed that beer. Most of them brought it back claiming it was off and didn't taste right. That was the reason we let them taste it before buying it usually. No one would really say anything because they asked for beer and they got a beer. I can just imagine like some kid doing something similar. It's like, I want that candy, and they just get handed a warhead or something, and they walk out of the store and then seconds later you just hear the like worst ear-wrenching scream ever. And I would pay to watch a film that basically just does that the whole time. Customer thinks he knows more about freight than my company, who has done it for more than 40 years, shuts down his company because of lack of material. Long-time lurker, first-time poster, obligatory on mobile reference, sorry for formatting. English is not my first language. Certain details are changed and left out so it's not obvious who I'm talking about. So, a little background. I worked for a logistics, packaging, and warehousing company that delivers freight all over the world. We have lots of customers who have issues with getting material in time to keep the production going. And when there is an issue with the material, they usually listen to us since we know how to get something from A to B quickly. We have one customer who forgot to order material and was now close to shutting down his production. Fortunately, the supplier who was in another country had material on hand to deliver. We notified the customer that we could get the material to him before shutting down his production, but we would have to ship this immediately so as to not delay his production. Now, since our company understands the needs of our customers, we usually just ship the material if we know it's needed and we can't wait for approval. This is the exchange that happened with me and their logistics manager, we'll call him LM, and me, some guy who knows nothing about freight, and purchasing manager, or PM, who is also our customer. Since this material is also in another country with a time difference of about 8 hours, there isn't really much time to talk to people to get things moving. Day 1. I need some dimensions, weight, and also some quotes so I can make a decision on how we want to move this. Oh yeah, I can try to get you that, but because you need it in a few days and because of customs and the time difference, we really need to get this to move immediately. I don't care. I need quotes and I also want to quote this myself. Okay, I'll ask our other office if they can provide that. I talked this out with another office in the night and we made this decision to ignore logistics manager and just fly it because a shutdown in production will cost them thousands per hour. Hey, do you have the quotes for me? Sorry, I really don't. Because of the time constraints that I explained to you yesterday, we shipped this already. What do you mean you shipped this? I need those quotes before I make a decision. As I explained yesterday, if I had waited for those quotes, we would have lost 1 day. See, the main problem is after the decision was made, this would be a few hours after the other office and the supplier had already gone. Then to do a customs and a flight plus customs here at destination would have taken another 2 to 3 days. The production would have been minimum halted for 1 to 2 days and there was no other choice but to ship it immediately. So on day 4 they had all their parts at the plant, but the logistic manager was not getting the freight costs approved, which means that we were not going to get paid. I got a call from the purchasing department who I get along great with. Hey, I have this PO request on my desk and my logistics manager is telling me you never gave him any quotes. I'm sorry, but without quotes I can't approve this cost. Hey purchasing manager, here's the situation. Your logistics manager screwed up and was going to shut down your production because he has no clue how international freight and customs work. If we had listened to him, he would have shut you down. We decided to ignore him because of that, and here's our email correspondence. I attached the emails, even one where he said he should have shipped FedEx or UPS, which would have taken over a week to deliver. The purchasing manager looks through the emails and starts laughing. Yeah, I understand. I'll push this PO through, but from now on, just do what he says, even if it means, you know, we will get shut down. Okay. So, just the following week, we then had the same issue again with some other material. We decided to give him quotes, which took 1 day, and let him make a decision. Not being completely malicious, we even warned him that we need an answer immediately so he would not have any problems. He finally gave us an answer by morning of the next day. This means we had lost 2 days already. Then we had to do customs clearance at origin, which takes another day. Day 3. Material goes down the airport the next day, day 4. The materials fly the day after, day 5. Arrives at the destination airport, which is day 6. And since the weekend, no customs clearance till Monday, the logistics manager has already shut his production down by this point. Monday, customs clearance. We get pulled in for customs inspections. More delays. Parts finally get delivered to him on day 8 at the end of the day. His production has been down for more than 2 days already and they are way behind. After this incident, we all get pulled into a meeting with the plant manager, and the logistic manager and purchasing manager explain the major F-up that happened. The logistics manager tries to blame us for everything and says that we took too long. Luckily, I have everything in writing informing him that this will happen if we do it his way. We get dismissed and the logistics managers get reamed by the plant manager. From then on, the logistics manager hasn't questioned us since, and when we tell him it needs to be done a certain way, he accepts it. How to even get hired into that position anyways? Well, I hope the company's doing okay now. Okay, so this one apparently just happened. You're mad that we didn't do it in January? Let me backdate it for you. I work phone service for an auto insurance company. A woman just called in mad because she didn't see her discount for taking her mother off the policy back in January. I did the research and sure enough, mom got her own policy and we never updated her status on this one. Oh, I just knocked down my water bottle. The customer was so insistent that I correct the error that I did so, effective to the date that the policy was bound. When I came back from hold, I told her that I corrected the error. She fairly crowed with delight that we messed up and that she'd been right. Her righteous tone ended abruptly when I told her that the backdated increased billing. If you had just been quiet about it, you'd save some money. The last agent probably broke protocol and left the mom active because it would have meant an increase. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. As the anti-vaxxers say it, do your research. High school forces new policy with insanely disproportionate punishments. This is my first post to the subreddit. I'm on mobile. Why does everyone mention that? Maybe it's just spelling, I don't know. So, my senior year of high school, the administration decided that they were going to implement a new policy where every student had to wear their student ID around their necks on a lanyard at all times. About a week before school started, they sent a letter home explaining the policy, the consequences of not adhering to it, and as well as a boring cheap lanyard so there was no excuse to not having one. They also tried to make it fun by encouraging students who had the means to buy our own personal lanyards to match our style, or something like that. The consequences for not having your ID around your neck was either not being let on campus until you got it on, or being sent home to get it, which is unrealistic for a lot of people and results in missed school, and could get as bad as a short suspension if there were multiple infractions. After a few weeks of dealing with the cheap lanyards that broke easily and put us at risk of losing our IDs, my friends and I decided to go to the mall to get personalized lanyards. We went to a bunch of stores so my friends could get various sports or pop culture themed lanyards. Okay, I don't know what this next sentence means, but finally I asked if we could stop by the store we all know and love with the fun inviting front half and the wild that back half to see what they had to offer. As we were looking, my friend who had already gotten himself a lanyard spotted one perfect for me. It was navy blue and at first glance appeared to have white stripes or squiggles on it. Upon closer inspection, it reads, "Go F yourself," in tiny lettering all over the lanyard. They said it could fit our style, right? I wore that lanyard around my neck every single class, every single day for the rest of the year, and even after my school realized that the rule was kind of dumb and the punishments were crazy, and when my colleges started implementing a similar policy with worse consequences my junior year, I brought out my favorite lanyard. Now let's take a look at this picture of my lanyard link. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what you said it was. I want that lanyard, but maybe with different text on it, cause censorship. Okay, so we got some edits here. So I guess they went to a military college. Also, it is possible to be in the military, think some rules are dumb, and still be disciplined enough to follow them. Also, I went to a military college partly because I was recruited to play sports and partly because it allowed me to serve my country and have a good job after college, which isn't always guaranteed. Edit 2. Whether or not you agree with the rule or not, it is unrealistic to force kids to find a way home to get something as trivial as a lanyard and ID before they can enter their place of learning, and irrational to threaten suspension if you don't comply. My school also thought so they became more lax about the punishment. So yeah, I'm currently experiencing something very close to this. Not nearly as crazy. I'm not gonna get kicked out of where I need to be if I don't have my lanyard around my neck, but there are some just staff running around making sure that I have it, and I think it's hilarious because most of us just kind of meme around with it. Some of us have taken our photo that's on our lanyard and put a different picture on it. Some of us have made some of the most stupid modifications to it, but I don't know, this rule seems to be made to be put into the subreddit. I don't think any kid's gonna follow that, especially if you're gonna force them to go home. They're gonna make it worth their time in some way. Alright, that is all the time I have for today. If you guys enjoyed the episode, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to see future episodes like this, make sure to leave a subscribe. That's not how that works at all. Make sure to subscribe and, turn on notifications so I don't disappear from some people's sub boxes. And, well, I'll see you guys in the next episode whenever it comes out. Make your bets in the comments as to how many days it'll be until the next episode. Oh, by the way, that next episode is Bone Apple Tea, so look out for it. And once again, have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.